Okay, everyone. So now we are going to discuss the next category of the function, which is without argument and with return type. So we have made the comment first that function without argument and with return type. Now we know that if I make any of the function, let us suppose sum, I have taken as the standard example. This bracket is the argument and the previous part, that is called the return type. So here they are saying with return type means function is returning something. That means before the sum there can be int or float or something. So function is returning something and the arguments are without. Without means they are blank. So that is all about the function which we are going to learn. That means int means return type is there, sum is the name of function, and brackets are empty. That means there is no argument. So that is the function which we are going to learn right now. Hash include conio.h, which is for console input output. The hash include stdio.h, which is for printf and scanf. Now on the top we have declared a function. So this part is the function and this part is the void main. Void main is the driving function. So main is the driving function which is going to call by the compiler. Now talking about the function, you see some brackets are empty. Brackets empty means no arguments are there, and before that we are having int. Int means there is some return type. So return type is present. Now understand one thing. If we are going to provide any return type, let us suppose that if I say int sum. Now what that mean? First of all, this mean is that if I call this function from somewhere, then this function will do some calculation and it will return something. So compulsorily we have to put the return. So return keyword will be there, and inside that what it will return, that will be certain integer value. So this integer value will be taken by the function and giving back to the calling program. So any function who is returning the value must have the return keyword. Let us suppose that if I talk about the float sum, let us suppose that we are going to create the return type as the float, then compulsorily we have to make the return at the end, and what it will return? It will return the float type. So what is the meaning of that? If I call the sum function from somewhere, it will do some calculation. After that, it will return the floating type of the value to the calling program. Okay. So similarly, I can take for the character or something. So that depend upon the function return type, which we are going to take. Now all of you, if I go with the same format, you see int sum means function is returning the integer value. Now you see at the last of the function we are having return C. C means what? You see that C is the integer type. That means function is returning the integer type of the value. So here C is coming. Now one more very important thing. Earlier I have taken the example of the function which was sum, and there we have taken no argument and no return type. So that is void, and then there was a bracket. Inside bracket we have written something. Now to call this function we have used sum. Even the calling of the function don't have any argument and not having any return type. So that we have discussed in the earlier program. But if I talk about this program which we have taken, that is int sum. Now int sum, there is a return type integer and there is no argument. And we know that if we are having some return type, then there should be return keyword at the end of the function, and that should be returning the integer value. Now how to call that function? Similarly, sum will be there, bracket is empty because there is no argument, but function is getting something. Means we are calling the function will return something to you. So if I call this function, there should be equal to then there should be some variable. Let us suppose that if I say ABC, and that should be of integer type. So if function is returning something, even with the calling, we have to take out some variable. So that is the difference between the earlier function, which was without argument, without return value, and function without argument with return value. These are the two examples we have taken. Now, to call this function, we are having sum. Sum is going to call this function. This bracket is empty because there is no arguments are passed, and there is s equal to because they are returning something. So now we are going to learn this program so that we can understand how the function work without argument and with return value. So first of all, compiler will come to the main driving function, which is void main. After coming to void main, program will come inside and it will say int s. So one variable is declared, that is s. After that, screen is cleared. Now s is equal to sum. We know that whenever we say a equal to 10, so this 10 comes here. Similarly, first of all, this sum is executed. Now, once we are saying s equal to sum, and program will see that there is some name is present, and program will find whether some function is available. So program will go upward and find out, and program will find that yes, there is the function with the name sum is available. Then program will come here, int abc. So three variables are declared, a, b and c, which are under the scope of sum. After that, after declaring abc, program will come to the next line, printf enter a and b. So there will be the message on the user screen, enter a and b. So user will enter, let us suppose, the value 12 and 12. Two values are taken by the user. So scanf percentage %d, two integer values stored into address of A and address of B. So these two values 12 and 12 are stored to the A and B. Then C is equal to A plus B. So the sum of A plus B, which is 24, is stored into C. Now return C. This C is going to return by the program, and program will match that this is the integer. So C should be of integer type. So C is of integer type, program is matching and returning back to the calling program. So calling program is there, and now the value of sum coming here is 24, and this value is stored into s. So s is now taking the value 24. That is only possible because we have given the return type as integer. If we have not provided the return type as integer, so value will never come back to the main program. So now the value of s is 24. So printf sum percentage ds. Now the value of s is taken, which is 24, and on the user screen sum is displayed as 24. Get ch is 4, holding the screen, and program will come out. Similarly, I have taken a output, enter the value of a and b, and the values are 12 and 12, which is 24. Now, the important thing to learn here is that if any of the function we declare and that function is returning something that is integer, so we can take out that value to the calling program or the calling function. So this value can be taken back to the calling function, and that is only possible if we provide the return type. So that is all about the function without argument and with return value.